In the early 16th century, a cleric and astronomer named Nicolaus Copernicus dared to challenge the traditional view of the universe. Born in 1473 in what is now Poland, Copernicus lived during a time when most people believed that the Earth was the center of the universe. This idea, known as the geocentric model, was largely based on the teachings of ancient philosophers like Aristotle and Ptolemy. For centuries, this geocentric view went unchallenged. After all, when you looked up at the sky, it seemed like everything, the sun, the moon, the stars, was circling the Earth. But Copernicus was different. He wasn't satisfied with what seemed obvious. He wanted to understand what was really happening in the cosmos. So, in 1514, Copernicus came up with a radical idea, the heliocentric model. This model proposed that the sun, not the Earth, was the center of the universe, and that the Earth, along with the other planets, orbited around it. Now imagine that for a second. Everything you've ever known, every teaching you've ever heard, tells you that the Earth is the center of it all. And then here comes Copernicus, saying, actually, it's the sun. That's a pretty big deal. Of course, not everyone was on board with Copernicus's new model. In fact, many were outright hostile. The Catholic Church held great power at the time, and the idea that Earth wasn't the center of the universe seemed to go against Scripture. Yet Copernicus wasn't deterred. He spent years perfecting his model, collecting data, and working out complex mathematical equations to back up his claims. It's important to note, though, that Copernicus didn't rush into publishing his ideas. He was cautious, knowing how controversial his theory would be. It wasn't until the year of his death, in 1543, that his groundbreaking book, On the Revolutions of the Heavenly Spheres, was finally published. Once his book was out in the world, there was no going back. Over time, his ideas began to influence other great minds, people like Galileo Galilei, Johannes Kepler, and Isaac Newton, who would further develop and refine the heliocentric model. Even though Copernicus didn't live to see it, his work sparked what we now call the scientific revolution. It was a moment in history when humanity began to challenge old beliefs, think critically, and trust in scientific observation. And it all started with one man, a simple idea, and a burning desire to understand the universe. Copernicus didn't just change astronomy, he changed our understanding of ourselves. By proving that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe, he forced humanity to rethink its place in the cosmos. We became just one of many planets, orbiting an average star in an unfathomably vast universe. Copernicus opened the door to a new way of thinking, one that encouraged us to ask big questions, to explore, and to always push the boundaries of what we know.